Hello and welcome to the Easter bundle, the Hop into Easter 2023. This month, I've got a few different things to share with you. I've tried to mix it up a bit so that there's a mixture of not just Easter, but also EA words, just because that way, EA obviously because it's the beginning of Easter. So I thought if I use that blend and I mix that with Easter, it would just kind of give a bit more variety rather than ignoring the fact it is Easter, but at the same time going 100% into Easter. So, first thing we have is a word search. So, partly just because it's a bit of fun, and partly just to help with spellings and things like that. And also with word searches, it helps in time to come when your child starts doing uh revision and they need to scan for information or comprehension or something, and they're trying to scan back to find the relevant piece of information. Trying to locate a word within all that clutter of a word search is similar to trying to find the information within the text. So it can one sort of supports the other in time to come. Although it could be that if your child's in like juniors that they're already doing a certain amount of comprehension, I guess. So could be relevant sooner rather than later. The next one I just partly popped in for a bit of fun. Can you find the six Easter bunnies hiding in the picture? But the other thing is, for a lot of children who struggle to see kind of like the differences between B's and D's, um, G's and no, that's not going to work. B's and D's, P's and W's. Um, no, sorry, brain's not working. B's and D's, P's and Q's. What else is there the children struggle with? There was one girl that struggled with F's and W's. That was a strange concoction, but M's and W's sometimes couldn't prove to be problematic. But looking for detail is often quite a challenge, and so therefore doing things like this, it just helps with like spotting differences, looking carefully and looking and from slowing down to find the finer details. The girl that I work with, um, lovely kid, but everything has to be done at 90 miles an hour, and so mistakes are made because she doesn't concentrate. Whereas if you've got to slow down and find all six or whatever, then it proves beneficial. So concentration as well, anything like this would help. The next thing I've put in there is an Easter garland, and the idea here is you colour in the Easter eggs, you cut out the perimeters, and you attach them to a piece of string and clip them on. Partly A because it supports times tables, partly B because colouring helps with fine motor skills, which in turn helps with handwriting, etc. C because it's fun, and D when you come to putting the hole in the top and threading through the string or clipping them on with paper clips or however you decide to do it. It again helps with fine motor skills, which then in turn help with handwriting. Um, and again, it just provides a visual image of the different times tables to have around, and the more interactive the child has been with creating the image, the more likely it is to actually stick. So we've got an Easter garland in there for the times tables. Next is basically lily pads, but I've done it instead of being on lily pads, I've done Easter eggs or egg-shaped uh egg shapes, yeah. So as always, you both need to cut these out, spread them out on the table. There's 2 pages of eggs. Spread them out on the table, and you have 2 counters. One you lay on the table, one you hold between your thumb and your finger like this, and you press down on the one on the table, and it makes it jump a bit like tiddlywinks. And if it lands on an egg, then you have to cover the word and spell it or read it depending on what level your child's at. And then the person with the most eggs at the end is the winner. So we've got the lily pads in there. Oops, that's suddenly gone very big. Didn't intend that. Next, we've got an EA words hangman. So pick a word from the list. Don't tell the other person which word it is you've chosen, and so say I've chosen a word. I do a small line for each E-A-M, for each letter, and you can point out to your child before you start that each of the words has an EA in. So that might be a good letter to guess first. And so they might go EA. So I'll go, yes, okay, my word's got EA in. And then they'll go, okay, and then you ask them for their next guess, and they'll say S, yep, perfect. And then they may go P, and then you go no. And it could be that you want to draw, so that's supposed to be a P, that's appalling. P, it could be that you draw the kind of like traditional hangman, or it could be that you do something a bit more relevant to Easter and you draw a rabbit or something instead. Let's try. This was probably going to be, oops, yep. And this is why I don't support art. Ah. Oh dear. That yours would no doubt be better than that. So I guess that would be one guess for the head, 2, 3 for the ears. You might decide to give it a couple more bits inside. Eyes, nose, mouth, whiskers. And then if you get to the end of the rabbit before they've guessed the word, then they've lost. So that's hangman. Then we have snakes and ladders, which again is EA words. So as you land on a square which has a word on there, you have to spell it out. It could be that you ask your child to cover it first before they spell it, or it could be that you just tell them to read it off or read the word. Could be that you ask them to read the word and then spell it. Entirely up to you, depends on what sort of ability stage your child's at. And then last but not least, I've made an Easter colouring image. So it's basically just an Easter picture, and there's words on there which all contain the EA blend. So you ask your child to colour the image, but before they can colour each piece, they have to colour, or they have to spell or read, again, depending on your child's ability, the word that's written there. So if I wanted to colour in the word dream or colour in the moon, I think it's a moon rather than the sun, before I could do so, I would have to go dream, D-R-E-A-M, or D-R-E-A-M, depending on how your child sounds out words. And then once I've done that, then I can colour it in. And then the next bits, there's some free bits in there, like the ears, so I wouldn't actually, have to spell anything for that. I could just literally go straight in and colour it. So that's this month's bundle. As always, if you have any questions, please either pop into the Facebook group and ask, or join us over on the monthly Zoom call. But any questions at all, please do ask, and I will promise I'll always do my best to help. So have a really great Easter and enjoy the chocolates. I'll see you soon. Take care. Bye.